This is the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. We have assembled the world's finest sports and trivia dorks to prove once and for all that we are just as bad at this as we were at sports.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, sports trivia for those of us who rode the pine. I'm your host, Tako, and episode 333 will feature the Benchwarmer team of Dave Wirtz and a mystery partner versus Benchwarmer Josh Bohmbach and returning guest Adrian Bias. Adrian, it's good to see you again. Why don't you take a minute and reintroduce yourself to the listeners?
Hey, thanks. Good to be here. I'm Adrian. I'm from just outside of Baltimore, Maryland. My favorite teams are the Raiders, the Capitals, and the Orioles, and just hoping to have a good time tonight.
Well, it's good to have you. And Josh, how are you? And what's your team name for this episode?
I'm doing all right. I have another week in between starting up my new job, which I'm excited for. I wasn't necessarily looking forward to finding a new job, but in hindsight, I should have been looking a while ago. But yeah, glad to be here. Glad to be playing. Teaming up with Adrian. So we were discussing team names a little bit, and I told Adrian, I said, I'm only slightly better than Mason at team names. And then Adrian said that he hopes to be Mason one day. So with that, our team name will be Striving to be Mason.
I love it. And you know what? The man lives a great life. We should all aspire to be Mason. And Dave, how are you? And what is your team name for you? And frankly, whichever person jumps into the Zoom room first.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I had the random church trivia that I host every year yesterday, and it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of good times, even though I have no affiliation to the church. They just keep calling me back and end up going in. I can watch them eat a whole bunch of food, which is always very uncomfortable to never be, offered. I'd still say no, but whatever. Yeah, good times over here. And even though I may be flying solo right now, my partner is still in my heart. So if Scott does make it, that'd be wonderful. If not, then we know why. So the team name is Scott versus the Traffic.
All right. So we've got Striving to be Mason against Scott versus the Traffic. We need some rules. So Dan, may we have some rules, please?
The game will consist of 4 quarters of play, each with different trivia style. The styles of quarters 1 through 3 will change from show to show, and I will explain them as we go along. Like any good sporting event, we will have a halftime show after the second quarter with entertainment questions. And in the fourth quarter, our teams will wager from their points accumulated to see who are today's clipboard captains, to be honored like the true benchwarmers they are. All right, let's get this game underway.
Thank you, Dan. Let's get right into the game with the first quarter, Curriculum Vitae.
Curriculum Vitae. In this round, the host will list the teams and years for which a player spent time and may also give a few fun facts about each player. Each question is worth 20 points.
All right. And it wouldn't be a Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast episode without too much Minnesota. So let's just start with some Minnesota. Question number 1 in Curriculum Vitae. 1967 to 78, Minnesota Twins. 1979 to 85, California Angels. 18-time All-Star, the most of any MLB player from Panama. Despite inclusion in a novelty holiday song, he never fully converted to Judaism.
We'll check in.
All right, Striving to be Mason has checked in Scott versus the Traffic. Give us your thoughts.
Oh man, this is what you mean by flying solo. I'm trying to run through the Adam Sandler classic in my head, and I'm going to check in with Rod Carew.
All right, and Striving to be Mason, what you got?
Well, good thing you checked in with that, because that is the correct answer.
Ooh.
I was pretty certain that's where it was going with the very first part, and the second part confirmed it, and all the other stuff is absolutely true as well. So yeah, we also checked in with Rod Carew.
Both teams are getting their points off to a good start. It is Rod Carew. His wife was Jewish. They raised their kids Jewish, but he never fully converted himself. I mean, doing everything but the paperwork, I get it. On to question 2 of Curriculum Vitae. 1990 to 1992, Chicago Blackhawks. 92 to 2001, Buffalo Sabres. 2001 to 2004, Detroit Red Wings. 2005 to 2006, Ottawa Senators. 2006 to 2008, Detroit Red Wings. 2-time Hart Trophy winner. 6-time Vezina Trophy winner. All-time career leader in save percentage.
We'll check in.
Scott versus the Traffic has checked in, so striving to be Mason, talk it out.
I'm not good on my hockey, but early 2000s in Buffalo, wouldn't that be? Isn't that Hasek around that time? Or was he later than that?
Did he start with the Blackhawks? That I don't know, but you know what? I think you might be right, especially with that long stretch in Buffalo. It almost has to be, I think. So why don't you go ahead and check that in?
All right, we'll check in with the Dominator, Dominate Hasek.
All right, and Scott versus the Traffic, what you got?
I was thinking about it because I did look this up not too long ago, and I believe I think Adrian was right on this. I had Dominik Hasek as well.
And both teams are getting their points. This is the Dominator. He won the Hart Trophy back-to-back in 97 and 98 with the Sabres, led the league in save percentage 6 consecutive seasons with Buffalo, and his .922 save percentage is the highest all time. Very nicely done.
It's pretty high, too, like in terms of points, because like I think the next one on that list is like Curtis Joseph at like a 906.
Yeah, it's not particularly close. He was... Peak Dominik Hasek was special. All right, on to question 3 in Curriculum Vitae. 2012 to 2015, SMU. 2016 to 2021, PGA Tour. 2022 to present, Live Golf. NCAA champion, U.S. Amateur champion, 2-time U.S. Open champion, 2-time PGA Tour leader in driving distance, 2.5 million YouTube subscribers.
We'll check in.
Scott versus the Traffic has checked in, so striving to be Mason, talk it out.
I don't know where he went to school at, but 2-time driving distance champion and 2-time U.S. Open champion. Is that DeChambeau?
It sounds like him. That's for sure, right? Because especially the driving distance
and the YouTube subscribers.
Yeah, and he is on the Live Tour, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. So why don't you check that in?
Okay, we'll check in with Bryson DeChambeau.
And Scott versus the Traffic, what'd you have?
Yeah, this is the dude himself, DeChambeau.
Both teams getting points. This is Bryson DeChambeau, won the U.S. Open in 2020 and 2024. And he is, along with Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods, the only 3 players to win the NCAA Championship, the U.S. Amateur, and the U.S. Open. All right, final question of Curriculum Vitae. This one's a long one, so bear with me. 1988 Olympics, gold medals, 400 freestyle, 800 freestyle, 400 individual medley. 1989 to 91, Stanford University, 2 national championships, 8-time All-American, 1989 Outstanding Female Swimmer of the Year. 1992 Olympics, gold medal, 800 freestyle, silver medal, 400 freestyle. 96 Olympics, 6th place, 800 freestyle, and was the second to last member of the Olympics torch relay, handing the flame to Muhammad Ali. And the 2012 U.S. Olympic Trials, 80th place in the 400 freestyle and 53rd place in the 800 freestyle.
Josh, that's what I was just typing that to you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I'm thinking we're probably on the right track, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll check in.
Scott versus the Traffic with the late steal and the check-in. So striving to be Mason gets to talk it out again.
Just looking at the years from 88 all the way to 2000 and 1996, then 2012, I'm thinking this is Janet Evans.
That's the name that came to mind for me too. Yeah. I say we go with it.
Sure. Go ahead. Check it out.
Check in with Janet Evans.
And Scott versus the traffic. What you got?
Oh, thank God. I was trying to think of that first name so bad. I literally just checked in with Evans, but I was like, what is her name? Jane, Jackie, Jessica. But so I just checked in with Evans, but yeah, I meant Janet Evans, that exact person.
Both teams are getting their points, even though Dave checked in with Tyreek Evans. It is Janet Evans. Janet Evans was the first American woman to win 4 individual Olympic gold medals in swimming and held the world records in the 400, the 800, and the 1500 meter freestyle simultaneously. Janet Evans walked so Katie Ledecky could run, except they both swam. So the metaphor doesn't really make sense in the pool. All right, after the first quarter, we're all tied up 100 to 100.
We wanted to let you know that we are on Patreon if you'd be interested in supporting us financially. Your contributions will be used to help us cover the costs that it takes to bring you the high-quality sports trivia you have come to expect from us. There's also some great perks that come with the Patreon membership to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, including bonus episodes and Benchwarmers swag. You can find us at patreon.com/benchwarmerstp. Thanks.
My God, it's Snyder's music. It's Snyder's music.
Oh God, what is Schneider's music?
I'm scared to say without being anti-Semitic, so I'm not going to go there.
Had to find some way to continue my streak here, getting on episodes. So
We'll now move into the second quarter, and today's second quarter will be the missing link.
The Missing Link. This quarter will consist of 5 questions with theme-linked answers. The teams will attempt to answer the questions and guess the theme. Each question is worth 20 points. If a team checks in first via chat to the host with the correct theme before the 5th question, they will earn 100 points. The other team can still earn 50 points with the correct theme guess. If neither team has checked in with the correct theme before the 5th question, each team can earn 50 points with the correct answer to the theme after the 5th question.
Question number 1 in the missing link. There are 2 players that have over 1,000 career points with the San Jose Sharks. Of those 2, he's the one who did not end his career in San Jose, and he's the one that was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2025.
okay, so are we checking in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, man, we're checking in.
Scott versus the Traffic has checked in, and that voice you heard was one Josh Snyder, who has come to the save and made this a full-on tag team match here. So, striving to be Mason, go ahead and talk it out.
I think I maybe just got there, Adrian. I think this is Joe Thornton. Big beard, beautiful beard. Because he played a long time with them, but he didn't only play with them. And then I do believe he did go into the Hall of Fame
This year?
this year. Yeah, I think so. I think that's who it is.
Okay. I have nothing, so we'll go with you.
All right, we're going to check in with Joe Thornton.
And Scott versus the Traffic, what you got?
Also, Joe Thornton, love that beard. The playoff beard that just never got shaved.
Both teams are getting their points. It is Joe Thornton, who played his final games for the Panthers in 2022. The other Shark over 1,000 career points is Patrick Marleau, and he returned to San Jose for one final season in 2020, 2021. So the theme link answer so far, Joe Thornton. Question number 2. He's a 4-time All-Star outfielder and the 2017 National League batting champ who played his entire 14-year career with the Rockies, retiring following the 2024 season.
We'll check in.
Scott versus the Traffic has checked in, striving to be Mason. Go ahead and talk it out.
The key to me was retired after the 2024 season.
Yeah.
And I think Charlie Blackmon retired then. I don't know if he fits everything else.
He did win a batting title. I don't know for sure if it was 17, but that I would think that's got to be what
Okay.
it is. Yeah, I say we go with it.
Okay. We'll check in with Charlie Blackmon.
And Scott versus the traffic.
Yeah, I said the same thing. Charlie Blackmon.
Both teams getting their points. It is Charlie Blackmon. Charlie Blackmon's 2017 was by far his best season. Finished fifth in the MVP, led the league with a .331 batting average. Also led the league in hits, runs, triples, and total bases that season. So, the themed link answers so far, Joe Thornton and Charlie Blackmon. Question number 3. This quarterback, whose final NFL action took place in week 1 of 2021 for the Commanders, has 7 children born in 7 different cities.
Okay. We will check in.
Scott versus the traffic has checked in. So striving to be Mason, it's yours to talk out.
So let's see. The Washington quarterbacks that I know they've used recently. I know Josh Johnson was on the team at the pandemic, but I think he's played somewhere else since then. I know that's around the time Mark Sanchez might have been on the team.
Was Fitzpatrick on the team that season? Was he there?
The problem is he's been everywhere.
Right, but that's the reason why maybe he's had his 7 kids born in 7 different cities, because he's played everywhere. Was that the last place he was? Because he was on the Redskins, right? Did he only?
Yes.
For a brief time, right? At least for a season, or maybe
Something
only
like
one
that.
game of a season. Is it possible that that's him? I mean, I think he would make sense for some of the other.
Yeah. And the fact that the question didn't have anything else about his career leads me to think that, somebody's trying to be a little tricky. So if you want to check in with Fitzpatrick, I'm okay with that.
I mean, I just think he could easily fit the reason why he had children born in 7 different cities, right?
Sure.
All right.
I really have nothing.
There's not a whole lot to go on.
Right.
All right. So we're gonna check in with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
And Scott versus the traffic. What you got?
The real question is, did he have a child in every city that he played for? That's what I want to know. Josh threw the answer over, and I tended to agree with him. We said Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Both teams are getting points. This is Ryan Fitzpatrick. He has 7 kids in 7 different cities because he played for 1,000 different teams. Fitzpatrick is the only quarterback in NFL history to start a game for 9 different teams and throw a touchdown for 8 of them. The Commanders were the only team he started for that he did not throw a touchdown pass for.
He needs to hurry up and get a touchdown pass and a child for those other 2 teams.
He probably just needs to live in the same place for longer than a couple of years. Just to feel comfortable.
There's a lot of recommendations I have for Ryan Fitzpatrick, especially after seeing him on some post-game shows.
Right. All right. So the theme link answers so far: Joe Thornton, Charlie Blackmon, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Question number 4 in the missing link. This former MVP has led the NBA in points 3 times, assists twice, 3-point attempts 3 times, and free throw attempts 7 times.
We can check in.
Scott versus the traffic has checked in. Striving to be Mason, talk it out.
I'm thinking it might be James Harden.
You might be right. That sounds like a Harden kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially back when he was able to draw fouls by putting his foot
I was about to say all that free throw line he'd be doing.
Yeah. Kicking his foot out to get a foul called all the time before they changed the rules.
Yeah.
He was one of the ones, because I was like, it can't be Curry. He's led the league in 3-point attempts probably way more than 3 times. So
And it can't be LeBron because LeBron doesn't really pass that much.
no. I mean, cumulatively over his career, he's gotten a lot of assists, but I don't know if he's ever led the league. So
No.
I say let's go with Harden. Let's see what happens.
Sure. All right, we'll check in with James Harden.
And Scott versus the traffic. What you got?
Well, my first thought was Steph Curry. But let me just say, and I'll have to wait for the end to reveal this, but I just put an image in Dave's head that I'm not sure he's going to be able to get out.
No.
So we went back to the guy I believe that was mentioned on a previous episode, Tako, that is somebody's favorite player that you've run into. So, and a red flag, James Harden.
Both teams are getting points. Yes, if you want the overhearing somebody on a first date saying that James Harden was their favorite NBA player, you have to subscribe to our Patreon and listen to the most recent, or the November Patreon bonus episode for that story. But yes, this is James Harden. He of getting to the line. I think there was a question a while back about most free throw attempts in the 2000s, and I do think he's first, if I'm remembering that correctly. Maybe it's LeBron and then Harden, but I can't remember. Anyway, themed link answers are Joe Thornton, Charlie Blackmon, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and James Harden. All right, we move on to question 5.
Sorry.
You're supposed to be getting through this game on time, Dave.
Nope.
right,
We're not doing it.
Here we
Josh.
go. We're pushing
I'm
through.
already in my jammy
Question-
jams.
Question 5 of the missing link. After a standout career at Duke, this 2025 Hall of Fame inductee had a 14-year pro career split between Washington and Los Angeles that included 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards, and until 2025 was the only guard to amass more than 100 stonks, steals plus blocks, as a rookie.
I like it.
All right. We're going to check in.
Scott versus the traffic is checked in. Striving to be Mason, talk it out very quickly.
It says split between LA and Washington and defensive player of the year. I'm thinking he's talking about a WNBAer.
Except I don't.
And I think I used to work at Mystics
Okay.
games,
Okay.
and I think Elena Beard played for both teams. I don't know how she got into the Hall of Fame or what Hall of Fame, but she fits the teams, and she did win Defensive Player of the Year. I know she won at least one Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay, that. All right. Yeah, because I listed off the ones that went into just at the end here who went into the Naismith, but maybe it's a different Hall of Fame. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it might be, or maybe it's, or maybe she went in as part of a team or something.
I got nothing better because I don't think any of the names I had fit any of the criteria. So let's go with that.
Okay, we'll check in with Elena Beard.
And Scott versus the traffic. What'd you have?
All right. So we really had to think this out, and I think go the same way as you, just looking at Los Angeles and Washington. You didn't say the Lakers and the Wizards. So just reading in there, I started to think about just what a powerhouse Duke is in women's basketball.
Oh,
And thinking about, a player that I'm pretty sure was just got into the Hall of Fame. And we thought of Elena Beard.
Both teams are getting their points. This is Elena Beard. Beard was inducted into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame in 2025. I didn't say that in the question on purpose to be mean.
thanks.
So you're welcome. Yes, second overall pick by the Mystics in 2004 after her career at Duke. Won 2 titles, 5-time All-Star, won a WNBA championship in 2016, and then was inducted into the Hall of Fame for women's basketball. So our themed linked answers: Joe Thornton, Charlie Blackmon, Ryan Fitzpatrick, James Harden, and Elena Beard. One team has submitted a correct theme guess. So that leaves Striving to be Mason. You can talk it out.
They're all beards. It's all beards. We're talking about it with Thornton and oh my God, they're all beards.
That was they were cones. Like cadence, so that they were beards.
Oh,
They were
man.
all beards.
I do think that the first four, there are people who are named Brown.
With
Joe
with
Brown, Charlie Brown,
Charlie
Ryan
Brown,
Brown,
Ryan
and James
Brown.
Brown.
I mean, statistically, yes, there are all people.
No, I think those are all famous Browns. Whether
We literally, I think we sent it to you after like question 2, and then Josh, go ahead and explain who you were talking about with.
Yeah, well, now thanks to the wonders of AI, Dave has gifted me with a nightmarish image of Steph Curry
I gifted everyone.
with a full-on with a full-on beard, and what that would look like if he could grow one, which I think might take some chia pet seeds in order to happen.
It looks like one of those hanging vines.
That's pretty bad. Yes, the theme here is beards. Joe Thornton, Charlie Blackmon, Ryan Fitzpatrick, James Harden, all notable bearded men. Alana Beard, notable beard. There you go.
Thankfully, I corrected it because I did send you bearded men.
It was initially bearded
originally.
men, and then amended to beards.
Oh,
Just beards
wait, they
in
were
general.
Wrong then. They only
In
get 50
general.
points.
That was we can go back and check the receipts, but yeah, it was Dave sent me bearded men. Oh, that wasn't meant for you, sorry. And then I ignored it, and then he sent it just beards. So
Oh, I did say that, didn't I?
yeah. So
When did they officially check in?
they officially checked in during the third question.
Okay.
Or around the third question.
I think it was before we submitted it.
I think that's right.
It
right.
didn't even occur to me when Adrian was talking about Alana Beard. It still hadn't occurred to me until after he said it, and then I looked at all of the names and her last name and went,
You were the one that even said Joe Thornton has a magnificent beard, which is true. Which is true. And I wanted to talk about it, but I couldn't because I knew it was the theme. All right. After the second quarter, we have a lead. Scott versus the traffic on the first theme. Correct answer has 300. Striving to be Mason has 250. That moves us to halftime.
It is now time for the halftime show. There will be 3 entertainment questions. Each question is worth 25 points.
For this halftime, I'm going to give you the play call of a climactic final play from a football movie. And you tell me the football movie. All play calls were said in the movie. I was not analyzing game film for this halftime. I don't work that hard. For example, if I said DC left, Y motion, 88 Warrior, the answer would be The Replacements. That one's the hardest one of the game. That's why it's the example. Don't worry. The rest of them are much easier. Do not worry about it. All right. Question number 1 of halftime. What football movie is this the climactic final play from? Fake 23 blast with a backside George reverse.
We can check in.
Okay. Striving to be Mason is checked in. So Scott versus the traffic. Talk it out.
Fake 23 black. Oh, dude, this is Remember the Titans. Denzel was saying this. Man. Yeah, Denzel. This is Remember the Titans. Let's check it in.
And Striving to be Mason, what'd you check in with?
This is the one I knew. This is Remember the Titans.
Fake 23 blast with a backside George reverse, like your life depended on it, Rev. This is the final play from Remember the Titans, which was fictionalized. I think they shut out their opponent in the actual state championship game, which is much less interesting. So they made it on a play where Ronnie Bass all of a sudden turns into the greatest blocker in the history of blocking or football on that play and just absolutely lays out 4 dudes in a row. It's incredible. All right. Question 2. What football movie is this climactic final play from? Split left 90, hook and ladder.
We can check in.
Striving to be Mason is checked in. Scott versus the traffic. Talk it up.
Josh, I'm pretty sure this is Varsity Blues. With the amount of times that Varsity Blues had been mentioned on this podcast, I watched it at least twice, and that feels like a line I remember hearing.
Spoiled the end of the movie for me because I've never seen it. But let's check it in.
And Striving to be Mason, what'd you check in?
Yeah, having just watched this movie for the first time within the last 8 months, I'm pretty sure this is Varsity Blues.
Split Lift 90 Hook and Ladder, aka the play where Billy Bob runs downfield and looks like he's lost. This is Varsity Blues. Very nicely done.
Funny, the most memorable thing for me from that movie did not have a lot of discussion.
No.
Certainly didn't have a play call to it, I don't think. But
It was topical. It was erotic. I gave it a 9.5. All right. On to question 3, the final question of halftime. What is this climactic final play from? The annexation of Puerto Rico.
Check in.
Check in.
Yo, what? You go 3, 2, 1 it.
All right,
Yeah.
we're gonna 3, 2, 1 it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Little
Giants.
Yeah, you knew that was coming.
Having just watched that for the first time in my life in the last week.
having
amazing.
never seen it, I even knew that was the answer.
Ah, there we
Literally
go.
just said to Josh, I was like, Little Giants coming next. Boom.
All right. Nicely done, everybody. The scores have changed. The deficit has not. Scott versus the traffic still ahead by 50, 375 to 325. That brings us to the third quarter, which will be 5 on 3.
Five on 3. For this quarter, there will be 3 categorized lists containing 5 items, where each item is worth 10 points. The teams will attempt to guess as many items as they can. However, if a team has an incorrect guess, they will receive 0 points for that list.
And question 1 in 5 on 3. Please give me the top 5 leaders in career receptions for the Raiders franchise.
We'll check in.
All right. Striving to be Mason is checked in. So Scott versus the traffic, you've got 30-ish seconds to talk it out.
So we've got
Yeah.
Marcus Allen. Yes. Tim Brown.
Yes.
Yes. Zach
Yes.
Miller. Yes.
Yes.
Fred Biletnikoff. Maybe.
Oh, sorry. I don't think Zach Miller is on there
Really? Okay.
because that's what I was saying. He was only there for about 3 or 4 years. There's got to be another one from that 70s, 80s period.
Well, maybe this is the time where Adrian gets to flex his knowledge and we play it safe. You know, so you want to take 2 or 3 here and at least get some points for Brown and Allen and maybe Biletnikoff.
Would-
80s?
Hold on, one more name because he's in the Hall of Fame. What about Cliff Branch,
Okay.
the wide receiver too? So Branch, Brown, Allen, and Biletnikoff.
Yeah, let's go with that.
All right. And Striving to be Mason, what did you check in with?
We checked in with some names that might sound like their list too. We checked in with Tim Brown, Fred Biletnikoff, Cliff Branch, and the only different name we checked in with is Todd Christensen.
All right. Well, both teams are getting their points. Between the two of you, you got all 5. Number 1 on the list, Tim Brown, 1,070 catches. Second, Fred Biletnikoff with 589. In third was Cliff Branch with 501. In fourth, Todd Christensen at 461. And fifth was Marcus Allen at 446.
You know, be glad I didn't think of a tight end because I would have thought for sure Darren Waller made that list if I would have thought of his name.
Sixth on the list, Darren Waller with 286. So there is a precipitous drop from the top 5 to
Todd Christensen played there for like ever.
Yeah, he was there for 11 seasons, looks like.
Yeah, so it's like I just thought he had to have, over just the length of his career, had to be in that
And that's probably
Yeah.
top.
and that's probably why Cliff Branch made it too, because he was there forever too.
Cliff Branch was there for 13 seasons. Rounding up the top 10, Darren Waller in sixth, Jerry Porter, Hunter Renfro, James Jett, and the ghost of the post himself, Dave Casper, in 10th with 255.
Josh said Jerry Rice. Where was he on that list?
Jerry Rice is 12th with 243 catches. Zach Miller is 14th with 226 catches. Right between the two of them, Michael Crabtree.
Crabtree, really?
Yeah. And significant to this podcast, James Lofton played 2 seasons with the Raiders and finished his career with 69 catches.
Yes.
Nice.
I will say, it was when you had Hunter Renfro in a top 10, I was like, oh boy, it really falls off in a hurry.
Yeah, from 446 to like 280, it's a big drop. All righty. Question 2 in 5-on-3. Please give me the 5 players not named Gretzky to score 150 or more points in a single NHL season.
All right. We will check in.
Scott versus the traffic is checked in, striving to be Mason. You've got 1 minute or so to talk it out.
Okay, so Mario Lemieux, he probably did it 2 or 3 times himself.
Probably.
I think Connor McDavid did it a few years ago.
Okay.
For some reason, I recall that Steve Yzerman did it once. I'm trying to think if there's any other names that, because Crosby's got to be, he must have had a season close, but like I said, and I know that you can get points with assists too, but with Malkin being such a high volume scorer too, I just don't know if and I don't recall hearing about that with him. Yager probably close, but I don't recall hearing that. I don't know if I feel comfortable beyond those 3.
Okay. I'm riding with you on this one.
Okay, so we're gonna check in with Lemieux, McDavid, and Yzerman.
And Scott versus the traffic. What did you check in with?
Yeah, Josh and I were talking through this as well, and I mean, as we said, you either have to have a really bad team or you have to be a dominant team to be able to accomplish this. And I mean, we couldn't think of too many names. I remember McDavid getting it. And then the other names that we put down were Lemieux, and then we also put Phil Esposito, because I know that he was part of those dominant teams. So we went with Esposito, McDavid, and Lemieux.
Okay. Well, both teams receiving 30 points. Nicely done. Mario Lemieux did it 4 times. He had a high of 199. Steve Yzerman put up 155 points in 1988-89. Connor McDavid had 153 3 years ago in 2022-23. Phil Esposito had 152 points in 1970-71. And the one that nobody mentioned, Bernie Nichols, did it in 1988-89 with 150 points. There are a bunch of players that just missed with 140 points or more. Jaromir Jagr had 149. Pat LaFontaine, Mike Bossy, Nikita Kucherov, Adam Oates, and Nathan McKinnon have all crossed the 140 mark, but didn't get to 150. So 30 points for both teams. Nicely done. The final question of 5-on-3, maybe the most frivolous question I've ever asked on this podcast. Please give me the last 5 MLB All-Star Game MVPs.
Oh boy.
And as a little bit of a helper, I will let you know that the MVP came from the winning team in each year. The National League won it in 2025. The American League won it in 2024. The NL won it in 2023, and the AL won it in 22 and 21.
We can check in.
My God.
Dear God.
I forgot we have list savant on one of the teams. Scott versus the traffic has checked in. So striving to be Mason, you have all the time in the world to talk it out.
I think I remember Schwarber winning it this year. Does that sound familiar to
Okay.
you?
Yes. And I think 2024, I think was Jared Duran from the Sox.
Yes, yes, it was. Yep, I agree with that. So now so 23 was the NL. Doesn't help that I haven't really watched an All-Star game since I can't even tell you when.
I watched the lineups. I watched the starting lineups, and that's it.
I don't know the NL 2023, but selfishly I pay a little more attention to the American League given, my team's in it. I
Of
think
course.
Stanton won one of those in 21 or 22. I also think that Vlad Jr. won the other year of that. I
So
think.
you want to go with those four? I
I I feel comfortable enough, and they're gonna get five
right,
because
because Dave is a
has
weirdo.
Dave has a weird hard on for baseball and anything listy with it. So
It's hardball. I have a weird
sorry, you have a
hardball.
weird hard ball. Sorry. That's even more disturbing, I think.
Well, there's our episode title. Weird hardball.
Oh, now Dave has a hardball. Thank God.
I was just gonna go with a weird hardball.
All right,
Leaves a
so-
little more to the imagination.
All right, so yeah, let's hope that I remember those correctly and that we can get 40 and only lose 10 points to them. So Schwarber, Duran, Stanton, and Guerrero Jr.
All right, and Scott versus the traffic. Uh, Dave, just take it away. I want to see how far back you can get, frankly.
Oh dear
All right.
Lord.
All right. So we had Schwarber on the Phillies in 25. We had Jalen Duran for the Red Sox. 2023, you wouldn't remember, but because that was the Colorado Rockies, Elias Diaz. Then you had 2022 was Stanton. 2021 was Vlad. There was no game in 2020. 2019 was Shane Bieber. 2018 was Alex Bregman. Then in 2017 was Robinson Cano. Eric Hosmer was 2016. Then the next 2 years after that was Mike Trout. Then kicking it back up in 2013 was Mariano Rivera. Then you had Melky Cabrera in 2012. In 2011, that's Prince Fielder, of course. Then goes Brian McCann, Carl Crawford, J.D. Drew, Ichiro, Michael Young, Miguel Tejada, Alfonso Soriano, Garrett Anderson came before that in 2022. That was the Milwaukee year. No one. 2001 is Cal Ripken Jr., Derek Jeter, Pedro Martinez, Roberto Alomar, Sandy Alomar Jr., then Piazza. 95 is Jeff Conine. Then you have Fred McGriff, Kirby Puckett, Ken Griffey Jr., Cal Ripken Jr., and Julio Franco in 1990.
You just gonna stop there?
Is that it? You're gonna keep going? You're right so far.
Oh dear God! Nope, that's all I got.
Okay.
I was looking for approval on Julio Franco first.
It was absolutely Julio Franco in 1990. Prior to that, in '89 was Bo Jackson. Then Terry Steinbach, Tim Raines, Roger Clemens, and then it's before I was born, so I don't care.
Something savant comes to mind. I'm not quite sure.
Amazing.
So you're telling us you're a fan?
Again, that is up there with still one of the most impressive things I've ever heard on this podcast was Eric Eid naming every single venue for every single NHL Winter Classic from memory in chronological order. I don't get you people.
Hey, game writers, just remember, if you ask a list and Dave's going to be on the episode, he's going to know it.
A baseball list.
It's a baseball list.
If it's a baseball list, he's going to have it 30 years going backwards, maybe.
Incredible.
And it's, as I said to Josh, MLB titles make me feel good.
Yep. All right. With that, let's get a score update, and then we'll move on to the fourth quarter. Scott versus the Traffic has 495. Striving to be Mason has 435. That brings us to the fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter, known as Put Your Fours Up. This quarter consists of 4 categorized questions that teams will wager up to 100 points each, not to exceed their current point total.
And for this fourth quarter, I was hungry when I wrote this fourth quarter. So your categories are salami, mayo, greens, and a French roll. We're making a sandwich. Salami is an MLB question. Mayo is football. Greens is NBA. And French roll is games. It is now time for the teams to place their wagers.
We'd like to take a minute to invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at BenchwarmersTP. We also have a Facebook group for fans of the pod called The Bench. Join us there to comment on the latest episodes and share cool sports facts and trivia. If you'd be willing to rate and review us on iTunes or Stitcher, we'd greatly appreciate the support so that other people may find this podcast. Thanks.
Now that the wagers are in, on to the questions. Question 1, salami. It's an MLB question. The most overused fact in the sports trivia canon is that Fernando Tatis hit 2 grand slams in 1 inning. So I will not be asking about that. But since Tatis accomplished that feat, 3 players have hit 2 grand slams in 1 game. 2 of these 3 players accomplished the feat for the Boston Red Sox. The other did it as a member of the Washington Nationals. Name any of the 3.
Let's check in.
All right. Scott versus the Traffic has checked in. So, striving to be Mason. Talk it out.
Well, Adrian, you have any idea on the National who did it?
I
Just out of
don't.
curiosity.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't either, but I'm pretty sure that both Nomar and Bill Mueller, I don't know if that's how you pronounce his last name or not, but they both did it. But should we go with you said you remember?
I now once you typed in his name, I remember hearing this about Mueller.
Yeah.
So
All right, we'll check in with him then.
For
Cool.
how many points?
100.
And Scott versus the Traffic.
Nomar did it in 99. Mueller did it in 03. And I think it was 2009, and that was Josh Willingham. But we checked in with Nomar Garcia-Parra.
For how many points?
100.
Well, both teams are getting their 100 points. It was Nomar, Giants legend Bill Miller, and Josh Willingham of the Nationals in 2009 was the most recent person to do it. Very nicely done. Both teams getting 100 points.
That's how you got that Willing
still
slam.
60. Hey, there you go. All right, on to question 2 in the category of Mayo. He's the all-time leading rusher in Miami Hurricanes history with 3,519 yards in 3 seasons. He only managed 2,265 rushing yards in his 8-year NFL career, though he did have 2,870 receiving yards in the league. He played his entire career in the AFC. Name him.
We'll check in.
Okay, striving to be Mason has checked in. So Scott versus the Traffic, talk it out.
When I was just before you sent your suggestion, I was thinking, I was setting you that it's got to be someone more recent, just given the nature of football. So I really like that idea of Duke Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he went to Miami, right? And where did he play for the Browns and
Bills, Dolphins too? Was he on the Texans as
That's
well?
what I thought. I thought Texans, but yeah. So right, like not necessarily a between the numbers guy, somebody who's going to be more of a receiving back. Down back. Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. Like I said, a Lucky Johnson makes its triumphant return.
A lucky Duke.
We
got lucky with Duke earlier with Elena Beard, so maybe it's a callback. To Duke.
It all just comes back, man. Circle of life. Yeah. Just wait. The final question will have hardball as the answer.
It was inside the whole time. It's a Chris Angel trick. All right, Duke Johnson, we're checking it in.
For how many points?
100.
All right. And striving to be Mason, what you got?
Yeah, we had the same answer with the same wager. So Duke Johnson for 100.
Both teams are getting their 100 points. This is Miami Hurricane Duke Johnson. Category was mayo. Duke's is a brand of mayo.
Oh,
So
man.
there you go. I think that might have been the second Josh Eyeroll of the game. I definitely got one.
I roll.
Oh, okay.
Unless the other Josh I rolled, because I
No, I
didn't
don't.
I roll that time.
I got one from Bohmbach on the theme as soon as he
Yep.
as
Yes,
soon,
he did.
soon as it hit him.
Yep.
I saw it in the Zoom window and I laughed a lot.
Yep.
All right. Nicely done. Both teams 2 for 2. Let's get to the penultimate question of the game. Category is greens. There are 6 greens on NBA rosters for the 2025-26 season. 5 have seen action this year. 1 is rehabbing from shoulder surgery. Name 3 of the 6.
Yeah, we'll check it.
Scott versus the traffic is checked in. Striving to be Mason, talk it up.
Yeah, I think we're there.
I think we're there. Yeah. So we knew, we knew the most famous unhinged one, Draymond, and then Uncle Jeff Green, and then Jalen Green, I believe, is the injured one for the Suns. So that's what we checked in for the legal limit 100 points.
Scott versus the traffic, what'd you check in with?
Take those first 2, Josh. You came up with them.
Did?
Yeah.
Must have been a fugue state. Okay, we said we said Draymond again. And then Jalen Green, yes, when we mentioned. And then the last one is you. This is a deep roster cut, I think, right?
Oh, it's super deep, but yeah, it's AJ Green. He plays for the Bucks. That's the only reason why I remember him. And he's pretty good. So yeah, we have AJ, Draymond, and Jalen.
For how many points?
100.
Well, both teams are getting their 100 points. Very nicely done. Draymond Green, Jalen Green. Basketball AJ Green, not football AJ Green, but basketball AJ Green plays for the Bucks. He was born in Iowa, attended Northern Iowa, and according to Basketball Reference, his nickname is Derry Bird.
Derry Bird. Yeah, I was just going to say that. It's so good.
Incredible. The ones that were not mentioned, the injured Green is Charlotte Hornet Josh Green. There's also Javonte Green for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And yes, Uncle Jeff Green is still playing NBA basketball for the Houston Rockets. It is important to note that Jeff Green played his rookie season for the Seattle Supersonics. And then after that rookie season, he took some time off because I don't recognize where he played after that. All right. Well, both teams getting their 100 points. We go to the final question. It is 795 to 735. So all to play for here in the category of French roll. And Dave, you're not wrong. This is kind of a hardballs question.
Yes.
What game, the object of which is to get your boules closest to the jack or cochonnet, was first held in tournament form in the Provençal commune of La Ciotat in 1910. The biggest international tournament held today takes place 25 kilometers away from La Ciotat in Marseille. The name is derived from the French for feet planted, as players must stand with both feet inside a small circle when rolling or throwing the boule. Name this game.
We're checking it.
Scott versus the traffic has checked in for the final time this episode, striving to be Mason. Talk it up.
I don't know. Like, obviously, it's like a version of like bocce ball, but this is not. I don't think that's a French term. I think there are some who actually call it bowls, like the way he has bowls spelled, but I'm guessing that's probably not it either. So there must be another game like those.
I'm trying to remember what the French word for foot or leg or
Yeah.
or something.
I don't think I know of any French sounding words myself for this. So unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to help you.
I can't get past it.
I took German in high school, so I did not take French.
I took French, but high school was
a few years ago.
Well, like 4 or 5 years ago.
Some of them MVPs Dave named was when I was in high school. as he started slowing down on his list, that's when we started getting to my high school.
Fair. That's similar time frame for my German. Because if you'd asked me a German,
some of those names
planted, I'm not sure I would have been much.
Some of those names, I was reverse dead.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have this isn't probably anything I've actually heard, is my guess.
And I'm going to be so angry when I hear it because I'm going to know it, but I don't have anything I can add to this. We'll go with Plante PA. I don't know.
All right. And for how many points?
100.
All right. And Scott versus the traffic. Take us home.
Yeah, Josh and I were right there. And we were talking about it too because it ended up bringing us into our college singing days. But this is a pétanque, is how I believe it's pronounced. Yeah, so that's what we checked in with for 100 points.
One team is getting their points. It is the game of pétanque. It comes from pieds tonques, feet planted on the ground. So
wait for it. It's not
Adrian,
really a who.
You were close there. It's
but a what?
Yep, pétanque is similar. It's been, I think
pétanque-donk.
Honky tonk, pétanque tonk. I think Striving to be Mason said it in the talk out. It is a similar game to bocce or boules, where you're tossing or rolling balls at a target object. These boules in pétanque are metal. It's played all over France. If you go to any park in France, you'll see somebody playing pétanque.
So
all right.
They're not just balls. They're hard balls.
They are hard.
They are hard boules.
They are hard
boules.
Hard boules.
Great boules of fire.
The Hardball Hotel.
All right. Well, the game has come to an end. Here are our scores. Finishing with a perfectly respectable 635 points is Striving to be Mason. But the clipboard captains of the game receiving the coveted, let's pick another bearded quarterback, receiving the coveted Sam Hartman Award.
Oh, he has hard balls.
Oh, yeah. With 895 points is Scott versus the traffic. Adrian, thanks so much for coming on. Is there anything else you'd like to say or plug before we get out of here?
No, thanks for having me on. And if you're listening to this and you are not a Patreon supporter of this podcast, you are a hater.
To all the patrons out there, we appreciate your support. To all those non-patrons, throw us some money if you like what we're doing. And we appreciate your future patronage as well. Josh, Dave, any other final words for the audience here?
No, just Adrian, sorry I couldn't bring you a win, but it was a good game.
It's a good game.
Very good.
Adrian,
game.
find that other Adrian in Maryland and show him who's boss.
I'm gonna have to start listening to their show now.
It's a Highlander thing. There can only be one Adrian in Maryland.
There can only be one.
It's like when Adrian Peterson squared off with the other Adrian Peterson in midfield.
That's right.
I don't wish you to fight Adrian Peterson even now. Just don't even bother with that.
Nope.
He'll bring a Switch.
Doesn't seem like a good business decision.
Nintendo?
All right.
From Switch 2 to a Switch fight.
From all of us here at the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, I have been Tako. Thank you for listening, and until next time, we will keep the bench warm.
That ball hit high and deep. Stretch! Get on back there. They look up. You can put it on the board. Yes!
Into deep left center for Mitchell, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
That great music you're listening to is by Justin Nozick. Thanks to him for producing that music for us. You've been listening to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. Make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We are at BenchwarmersTP.